Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. And guys, today in this video we are going to discuss about what is tissue and also one type of tissue, that is the epithelium. So let's start. Okay everyone, here we'll see what is tissue. Here they said tissue are a group of cells that have a similar structure and act together to perform a specific function. So tissue, the term tissue used to describe a group of cells that found together in the body and share a common embryonic origin. And they have their own specified function that help in overall health and maintenance of the body. In my previous video, you can check the link above, we have discussed about different levels of structural organization of the human body. So tissue also, it is one of the level of structural organization of the human body in a multicellular organism. And although there are many cells, many type of cells found in the human body, these many cells are organized, that is, they are organized into four broad categories, that is the epithelial tissue, the connective tissue, the muscle tissue, and the nervous tissues. And these are the main types, that is the epithelial, the connective, the muscles, and the nervous tissue are the main types of tissue. And we are going to discuss about it too, but for now we'll see how the tissue develop or the origin of the tissue. So we'll see. So this one, embryonic origin of the tissue, that is how the tissue develop. So in this, the first step is fertilization, that is the fusion of gametes, that is the male and the female gametes, to form a zygote, that is to form a zygote, a diploid cells. And zygote begins its mitotic division, that is a second stage, that is, you can see this, day 2, second stage cells, the 4 stage cells, and morula, and then blastula, that is, in this only the embryos start rearranging themselves into layers, and gastrula, that is the early phase of embryonic development. And from here into the embryo, it will develop into the embryo. And the first embryonic cells generated have the ability to differentiate into any type of cells, capacity to divide, develop into new organism, and this is called as totipotent, that is, they have the ability to differentiate, to divide, and also to develop into a new organism. So as the cell's proliferation progresses, 3 major lineages are established within the embryo. And each of these lineage of embryonic form the distinct germ layers. The distinct germinal layers you can see here. You can see here ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. And from these layers, all the tissues and organs, see this one, you can see ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. From these layers only, all the tissues and organs of human body, eventually they form. And each germ layers are identified by its relative position. That is the ectoderm, outside, meaning is ecto, it's outside, the outer layer. So mesoderm, the middle. So meso is the middle layer and endoderm is the inside, the inner layer. And these layers give rise to different tissues. We can see in this, you can see the germ layers. Ectoderm give rise to the epithelial, and also that is the epidermis, epithelial, epidermis, and the nervous tissue. And the mesoderm give rise to epithelial also, and also to the muscles and the connective tissue, the bone, vascular system, and endoderm give rise to the epithelial and organs of digestive system. Okay, this is all about embryonic origin of tissue, and next we will see about tissue membrane. As cells have membrane, even tissues have it. So we'll see about tissue membrane. As you know, membrane means covering. So tissue membrane is a thin layer or sheet of cells, which covers the outside of the body or the organs or the internal passage that leads to the exterior of the body and lining of the movable joint cavities. And there are two broad categories of tissue membrane, that is connective tissue membrane. Connective tissue membrane, they usually enclose the organs such as kidney, and also they include synovial membrane which line the joint cavities and also produce the fluid within the joint. And the next category is epithelial membrane, which include the mucous membrane, the serous membrane, and the cutaneous membrane. So the mucous membrane line various cavities and covers the surface of the, you can see here, cover the surface of internal organs and also protect the inside part of the body that are exposed to air in a similar fashion to how our skin protect our external body. And the cutaneous is this one. Cutaneous, our skin, that is our skin, the outer epidermis. So this one, it protects the rest of the body tissue and organs from damage, that is from any microorganism, from any chemicals, physicals, or the biological damage. And the next one, the serous membrane. The serous membrane encloses several body cavities, and they secrete a lubricating fluid which reduces friction from muscle movement. You can see here, this is the serous membrane. And this is all about the tissue membrane. And now let's see the type of tissues. The type of tissues. So here the types of tissues. The tissues are classified into four main types. As I told you before, the epithelial tissue, the connective tissue, the muscle tissue, and the nervous tissue. You can see here, these are the type of tissue. But here in this video, we'll discuss only one type, that is the epithelial tissue. So, okay, we'll see about epithelial tissue. The cells that make the epithelial tissue are derived from three major embryonic layers, that is the ectoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm. That is, this epithelial tissue are derived from all the three layers. And these epithelial tissue are also known as epithelium or referred as epithelium. And the epithelial tissues are found covering the body and the lining cavities and tube. So this one is that epithelial tissue are large sheets of cells which cover all the surface of the body and which are exposed to the outside wall, and also which line the outer surface, that is the outside of the organs, and also they form certain glands. And this epithelial tissue, these epithelial cells are tightly packed together. They are very closely packed together in a very little matrix, that is like fluid, and these cells are attached. They are attached to the underlying connective tissue, that is just below the cell. There is underlying connective tissue by a cellular basement membrane, that is they have the basement membrane, under that there is a connective tissue, above that there is epithelial tissue. So this is the meaning of epithelial tissue, and now we'll see some of the functions of these epithelium. So now we'll see functions. So functions of epithelium. So this one, epithelial tissue, they perform various functions. They perform various, that is a variety of function. The first one is it provides the body first line of protection from physical, chemical, biological wear and tear. That is, it gives protection to the body, that is the underlying tissue, from any physical, that is the underlying tissue. This, it is covering, as I told you, epithelium is a covering, so it acts as a protection from any damage, from any physical damage, chemical damage, or the biological damage, that is protect the tissue. And it acts as a gatekeeper, that is it will control and allow selective material to pass. It will be like a gatekeeper, someone who is standing gate, and they will check, they will control, and they will select some people and they will allow. That is how a gatekeeper, how the epithelial perform. And the next one, they are capable of secretion and release mucus, that is these epithelial help in secretion of hormones, enzyme, mucus, and also they help in absorption, and they help in releasing the mucus and also absorption, that is absorb substance in the digestive tract, and also they help in filtration, that is in the respiratory, by filtering the out dirt and particles and cleaning the air that we inhale. And also they help in excretion of chemicals, and also they help in sensory reception, that is we can detect detection of sense. And now this is all about the functions, and now we'll see about the types or the classification of epithelium. Okay, we'll see about the epithelial classification. You can see in this picture, the epithelium is classified according to the shape of cells or the number of layers. So you can see here, according to the shape of cells, that is a squamous. You can see squamous. Squamous is a flat and thin, and cuboidal is like box and very wide, and columnar is like rectangle and tall than wide. It's very tall and wide. This is how the shape of cells. And according to the number of layers is simple. That is, this is a single layer. You can see only single layer. Stratified is several layers. You can see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is all about the epithelial classification. And now we'll see one by one what is simple, what is stratified, what is squamous, what is cuboidal, what is columnar, what is pseudostratified. So now we'll see what is simple epithelium. So in this, under simple epithelium, under this only we will have the simple cuboidal. We'll have both. Now we'll see about simple epithelium. And under this only we will have both the shape and the layers. That is, it consists of both the shape and the layers. So first, what is simple epithelium? Simple epithelium, they are the single layer of cells, and the epithelial barrier, that is the barrier of this, is very, very thin, which make it possible for the process of absorption, secretion, and filtration. That is, they will allow these process, absorption process, secretion process, and filtration, because of the thin barrier. Because of this thin barrier, they will allow this process. So under this, we'll see step by step. Under this only, we'll see step by step. That is, the first one is the simple squamous epithelium. The simple squamous epithelium. So we'll see about simple squamous epithelium. So you can see this picture. This is simple squamous epithelium. So the appearance of this simple squamous epithelium is very thin. You can see it's very thin, and they compose of a single layer. You can see only one single layer, and the cells are very flat and they fit very closely. You can see they fit very closely together like flat stones, and they form a very thin, smooth membrane. And these cells or these tissue are found in the wall of capillaries, that is the blood vessels, and also line the structures of heart, lymph vessels, alveoli of the lungs, and also the diffusion will take place freely or occur freely through this thin, smooth layer of the cells. This is all about the simple squamous epithelium, and next we'll see about simple cuboidal epithelium. Simple means single layer, cuboidal means a box, and epithelium means tissue. So that is a covering. Simple cuboidal is. So now we'll see about simple cuboidal epithelium. Simple, single layer, cuboidal is like box, and epithelium is covering. So in this one, in this simple cuboidal epithelium, you can take a look in this. This is the picture of simple cuboidal epithelium. The cells are tall and they are wide and they are made of a single layer of cells, and their important function, these functions, the important functions of this are they can secrete and absorption, and also they are found in salivary glands, conducting glands of the kidney and the pancreas. This is all about the simple cuboidal epithelium, and now we'll see about simple columnar epithelium. Okay, now we'll see about simple columnar epithelium. This simple columnar epithelium, they are made of a single row of tall, closely packed cells aligned in a row. You can see this picture about how they look. And about these cells, they are found in areas which have high secretory function, such as wall of the stomach, or line the organs of alimentary tract or absorptive area, or they are found in more absorptive areas such as small intestine. And this is all about the simple columnar epithelium. And now the next type we'll see is the pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. And now we'll see about pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. As you know that pseudo means false and stratified means several layers. So in this pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium, it consists of a single cell layer, and they are simple columnar epithelial cells, and they have irregular shape and different size, which give misleading impression that the epithelium is stratified. When the cells are viewed, if the cells are viewed in cross section, and they can also, these pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium can also possess fine hair-like extension from these membrane. That is, you can see this fine hair called the cilia. That is, they can possess these fine hair called cilia, and these ciliated epithelium is found in the airway, that is the nose, the bronchi, and they will trap the dust and the tiny particles. And also they found in the uterus and fallopian tube. These ciliated epithelium they will found even in the tube of the female, the fallopian tube of the female, or in the uterus, where the cilia will drive or push the ovum to the uterus. And this is all about the pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium and also about the simple epithelium. And now next we'll see about stratified epithelium. What is stratified? So this one, stratified epithelium, stratified, as I told you before, that is several layers. So stratified epithelium consists of several layers of cells. So, and also they differ from simple epithelium by being multi-layer, that is several layers, and because of several layers they are found, because of many layers they are found where the body lining have to withstand mechanical or chemical damage to protect the underlying tissue. And here we also will have different histology of stratified epithelium, and that is, the first one is the stratified squamous epithelium. So stratified squamous epithelium, as you know that stratified is several layers and squamous are flat and thin. So this epithelium tissue is formed from multi-layers of cells. They form from multi-layers of cells and they protect the body from desiccation, that is drying out. They will protect the body from drying out and water loss, and they are classified, this stratified squamous epithelium are classified into keratinized stratified epithelium and non-keratinized stratified epithelium. So this is a keratinized and this is a non-keratinized. So keratinized, what are keratinized? So these keratinized stratified epithelium, they are found only in dry surface like the hair, nails and skin, and they are important part of the epidermis, that is external skin. These cells are specially structured. These cells are specially structured to be waterproof, that is to not allow the water to pass, and also it will reduce evaporation from the underlying tissue. This is all about keratinized stratified epithelium. And what is non-keratinized? This non-keratinized, they are found in wet surface like the conjunctiva, the mouth, that is the lining of the mouth, the pharynx and the esophagus and the vagina, and they usually secrete mucus, and additionally they protect and lubricating layers. They act as a protective and also they will lubricate layers. And this is all about the non-keratinized stratified epithelium. And next we'll see about the stratified cuboidal epithelium. So this one, this is a stratified cuboidal epithelium. These tissues are found in sweat glands, salivary glands and the mammary glands, and they consist of multi-layers. Of cells, that is stratified, that is multi-layers of cells, that is cube-shaped cells, and they are very rare in human body. They also act as a protective tissue. They will act as a protective tissue, that is prevent injury or infection. This is all about stratified cuboidal epithelium. And now we'll see about stratified columnar epithelium. These tissues are found in male urethra and duct of some glands, and they are composed of a column-shaped cells, you can see here, and they are arranged in a multi-layer of cells, that is more than one layer, and these tissues help in secretions and protection, and also like the other, they will protect the underlying tissues. And the next one, the last one we'll see about, the last one is a transitional epithelium. So this one, transitional epithelium, they are composed of several layers. You can see these are the layers, several layers of pear shape. Pear shape, you can see like little top is there, like pear shape or oval, large oval or pear shape, and they consist of multi layers of epithelial cells. You can see multi layers of epithelial cells which can contract, means they can contract and they can expand. They can contract, they can expand in order to adapt to the degree of stretch, that is distension needed, or can change its shape. They can able to stretch, or they can change their shape. And also these tissues are found in the lining of the urinary bladder, and it will allow the bladder to stretch because of these epithelial cells. They will allow the bladder to stretch. When the bladder will fill, because of these cells, they will allow the bladder to stretch. This is all about the transitional epithelium. So if you feel this video helps you, you can hit the like button and share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you.